It is Sunday, April 1st, 2018 at 6:26 p.m. Central Time. And even though it is April Fool's Day, I've got some really bad news that is true. Tony El Cucuy Ferguson has been pulled from the main event spot of UFC 223 opposite of Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov, where they were supposed to fight for the lightweight title. Ariel Helwani broke the news about a half hour ago that Tony Ferguson was being pulled because of an injury sustained just days ago, and he said that Max Blessed Holloway was going to step in and fight Khabib the Eagle for the UFC lightweight title. Then, just moments ago, Ariel once again got on the Twitter machine and confirmed that it has been signed. The new main event of UFC 223 is Max Blessed Holloway, the undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world, is going to step up, go up 10 pounds in weight on 7 days short notice to fight the ever dangerous and highly talked about Nurmagomedov. This is nuts. This is the fourth time that Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov has been scheduled to go down, and the fourth time that it has been stricken from the books on short notice. One day it was because Khabib had to be rushed to the emergency room due to a weight cutting issue, tiramisu, yada yada, and now we've got this. 7 days until we were supposed to see the main event that we've been waiting for. This is a matchup we've been waiting for a long time, not just the main event, not just because it's a title fight, but Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov is a fantastic stylistic matchup, and we're not going to see it. All right, we got some people rolling in. One UFC addict, Stan Jasinski, I forgot, my bad. So depressing, haven't been this crushed over an MMA fight in a long time. And Justin Lelbach says, bullshit, April Fools, it's gotta be. So then will we have two belts, asks Susan Cecil. No, I mean, potentially we're going to have Max Blessed Holloway becoming a simultaneous champion, just like Conor McGregor was if he were to defeat Khabib on Saturday evening. He's the simultaneous featherweight and lightweight champion of the world. Will we have two separate belts, meaning will we have an interim title and a real belt? No. Dana White has said that basically on the night of this fight, they're going to announce that Conor McGregor has been stripped. But leading up to it, they're going to keep Conor McGregor as the champion. And then on that night, the belt will be stripped from Conor McGregor. It has been something like 510 days since Conor McGregor took the belt from Eddie Alvarez at UFC 205. So we will not have a simultaneous lightweight champions with an interim and a real. This fight between Holloway and Nurmagomedov is for the real championship. And this presents itself to a few different storylines. Conor McGregor beat Max Holloway a long time ago. He supposedly had a leg injury, and he got past Holloway on that night. Holloway has since improved a lot, and he obviously has become the UFC featherweight championship, defeating Jose Aldo 2 consecutive times, both via TKO finish. I believe one of them might have been in submission. I believe they were both TKOs. Anyway, so we have that storyline, the rematch with McGregor and Holloway, if Holloway gets past Nurmagomedov. We also have the storyline of Nurmagomedov. When he gets on the microphone after victories, he's very vocal about calling out UFC's chicken in Conor McGregor. Even though he's got broken English, Nurmagomedov has some pretty good trash talk toward McGregor, and basically the winner should fight Conor McGregor. Do you guys like the matchup for Max Holloway? Now, he is coming in short notice. I doubt he has trouble filling out fully at 155 pounds. He's a tall, lanky guy, long dude at 145 pounds. He should look fuller at 155. People are talking about how because Nurmagomedov, they say he's a small welterweight, right? And he cuts to 155. He doesn't have the best gas tank. He could fade a little bit late, and Holloway has a phenomenal gas tank. He's got really good cardio, and he turns the volume up as fights go on. But carrying that extra 10 pounds on Holloway could dwindle his ability to keep that volume up as we go later into this fight against Nurmagomedov. And then Nurmagomedov, he's, beat people in wrestling like Rafael dos Anjos, who is now a welterweight and soon could contend for the welterweight title. So will Nurmagomedov have difficulty grappling or getting Max Holloway to the ground? Holloway does have good takedown defense. It's an interesting matchup. Are you guys more interested in Nurmagomedov versus Holloway than you were Ferguson versus Holloway? I've seen some mixed answers on Twitter, and I gotta say, I want to see Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov, but since it's fallen through the cracks 4 consecutive fucking times, I feel like we shouldn't even make the fight again. Let's get back to these comments. Stan says, win-win for the UFC and Conor, not so much for us fans. Like I said, I really want to see Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov. Drak21 says, Max will win via flying knee in the 3rd round. Then Max will beat Conor via decision. Susan Cecil says, it's still a good fight, just sucks Tony can't do it. Will the UFC try and make the fight again? I saw a bunch of people on the Twitter machine saying that if Nurmagomedov gets past Holloway, wins, like I think he'll be the favorite when the odds drop, if they haven't dropped already. I can check on that for you guys. I saw some people say that they would try to make that fight for a 5th time. Holy crap. If you were interested in the odds, Nurmagomedov was a -250 favorite over Ferguson, with the comeback on Ferguson plus 230. Obviously, that fight, we're talking about that right now, is no more. I'm very interested to see where they open the lines at for Holloway versus Nurmagomedov. And let's not forget that I was super fucking pumped to watch, and apologize for the cursing on Easter, but I'm a little bit amped up about this breaking news here. I was really excited to see Brian T-City Ortega get that title shot against Max Holloway. That was next. Brian Ortega's coming off of a vicious knockout victory over Frankie the Answer Edgar. Now, we don't know how that's going to play out. This is 7 days short notice, so anything could happen. Holloway could beat Nurmagomedov, and then he's in line for a fight with McGregor, or then to defend the lightweight title instead of the featherweight title. Who the hell knows? But now I feel like we're going to miss out on this fight with Ortega next, depending on how the new main event goes. Synchronic7, who, by the way, has his avatar, his display photo is of Max Blessed Holloway. Drak21, do you think Max would beat McGregor at 155 pounds? It's so difficult to say. I don't think that we'll see that fight ever happen again at 145 pounds. So in my mind, when people would say that they want to see a Holloway versus McGregor fight, a rematch at 145, I thought there's no way that's ever going to happen, because McGregor cut way too much weight to get to 145. He looked really diminished. He looked like a skeleton of himself. He looked kind of like a homeless person who was also emaciated, especially once they took away the IVs after weigh-ins. But now, it's totally possible that we could see that rematch, but at 155 pounds. Who would I pick in that matchup? I don't know. McGregor has the power to put anybody down. Max Holloway is really durable. Who has the cardio advantage? You got to put it on Holloway. But as I said, and that what I said was, Max coming in on 7 days short notice, 10 pounds up, that could hurt his cardio. But you give Max Holloway 3 months at 155 pounds to get his body honed in, and then get that cardio lined up for a lightweight fight with McGregor, and holy shit, we got a dynamic matchup on our hands there. Any of this is gonna be phenomenal. I'm excited for all of the storylines coming out of this. McGregor versus Holloway, Holloway versus Nurmagomedov. Holloway potentially fighting Tony Ferguson if he gets past Nurmagomedov. But I feel like we're talking about Holloway. He deserves some credit here. I think Nurmagomedov is going to or will defeat Tony Ferguson. Let me just check the Twitter again, because we've got some comments coming in that say this is definitely April Fool's joke. And honestly, I'd rather have egg on my face and have clearly done this live chat reaction to some breaking news while being misinformed and say, you know what, I was wrong. I would rather have that than to actually have Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov pulled for the 4th time. MMA History Today is at the top of my Twitter. And their tweet is, we could have a second fighter in the UFC to hold 2 belts at the same time this Saturday. Max Holloway has a chance to decisively own 2 divisions Conor McGregor once claimed. Reminding me, Chamatkar Sandhu from MMA Junkie, he's a big, I think he might run MMA History Today. But About, shit. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. About an hour ago, 53 minutes ago, Chamatkar Sandhu posted this on his new Facebook page. So he's a good reporter, MMA journalist. Go follow him on his page. But he posted this 53 minutes ago, right before Ariel Helwani posted this bit of breaking news. Let me read it to you. Our MMA gods, who art in the Hall of Fame, hallowed be thy name. Thy pay-per-view come, thy will be done, in Brooklyn as it is in heaven. Give us Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov, and lead us into the Barclays Center, but deliver us from injuries, for thine is the octagon. Amen. I'm not pointing any fingers for who to blame for this injury happening to Tony Ferguson, but Chamatkar Sandhu. I'm just kidding, Mr. Sandhu. But, geez, what a jinx, right? Right before the breaking news happened, Chamatkar posted that. Happy Easter, Ralph Vargas. Thank you for being here. Absolutely dreadful post, since this is clearly April Fool's joke. Khabib will still clearly beat Ferguson. However, if the MMA gods decided to fuck me and Holloway is to fight Khabib is real, then Khabib wins easily, says Absolutely Dreadful. That's his name. I'm not commenting on his reliability or anything, but jeepers creepers. In the comment section, tell me, are you devastated by losing Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov, or are you absolutely titillated, excited about the possibility of Max Holloway becoming a two-division champion simultaneously, and he's actually defended a belt, and then the possibility of him fighting Conor McGregor in a rematch to Conor McGregor. Absolutely dreadful. Yeah, but here's the thing, is his words. Do you see an ounce of despair on Dana's face in that video? Also, why would Khabib take the fight against someone so clearly underweight in comparison to him? Stan Jasinski is fucking crushed again by losing Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov. I'm very torn. A part of me for the last week has been waiting for some news like this to happen, because this is the fourth time they've booked Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov, and I thought certainly it's going to happen. And then, I thought coming into today, we're feeling pretty good about it. In fact, today I was making my videos, my top 3 most excited fights for UFC 223, and also my beer pairing video for UFC 223. I was making them today, doing the editing, working away, fucking breaking news. And everything that I've done on those 2 videos, throw it away. Gotta start over. There goes 4 hours of my life because this fight's cursed. I should have waited. But I thought I want to get it out early, get out ahead of the game a little bit. I don't know. Absolutely Dreadful says, I have personally seen Khabib wrestle against the likes of Cormier in the gym. Khabib could take Holloway's ass down to the ground so quick that it just wouldn't be an interesting fight. Max Holloway has pretty damn good takedown defense. Let me go to the UFC.com, search for Max Holloway. Have they updated the website yet? No, they have not. UFC.com still has UFC.com actually does have Holloway versus Nurmagomedov. It's in an article here, but they don't have it on their official. Oh, they do. I saw that. Hold on. I don't want UFC.tv. Not what I want. Hold on, guys. Okay, UFC 223. Holloway versus Nurmagomedov. It's on the website. Max Blessed Holloway has 80% takedown defense. And he's been in the UFC for a long frickin' time. 80% takedown defense. 83.33% takedown defense. That's pretty damn good. Can he hold up to Nurmagomedov, who... Check my Twitter notifications. From Usynchronic? Oh. Is that a crying Khabib? It's gotta be a crying Khabib, right, Synchronic? Oh, one reason why I can't see what Dana White said on Twitter. He blocked me, but that's another thing. All right, let's see. Ralph Vargas says Cyborg would whip all their asses at those weight classes. Come on, man. Absolutely dreadful. Honestly, the only challenge left for Cyborg besides Nunes would be not saying the rest of that. Mac Will, is this real or is it an April Fool's joke? It seems as though it is real. And one thing that I forgot to mention. Oh, that's Ortega? Yeah. I mentioned that, guys. That. So, for you that are just joining, it sucks that we're not going to get to see Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov soon. For Saturday, 6 days from now or whatever. It also sucks that Brian Ortega could potentially not get a featherweight title shot, because if Max Holloway defeats Khabib Nurmagomedov, Max Holloway could have a fight against McGregor on the line, and which one's going to make you more money? Ortega or McGregor? So that sucks for Brian Ortega. It sucks that we don't get to see Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov. It sucks in a lot of ways, but it's also, this is MMA, right? This is one of the most mixed martial arts things that's ever happened. People were saying all day today that, you know, I don't want to see any fucking stupid April Fool's jokes about fights being canceled. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not even going to look at Twitter today, because I don't want to see a bunch of jokesters pretending to be Ariel Helwani and breaking news like this. I step onto Twitter for a minute. I look at my MMA news feed, and I see that Mark Raimondi has posted a little blurb of an article on MMAfighting.com, and this fight has been canceled. I'm like, okay, I'm going to click it. It's going to be like, just kidding, fuckos. Ha, gotcha. But no, it seems to be legitimate. I just clicked on a link from Brett Okamoto from ESPN.com to read a few comments. Let me just, if I can, I'll read you guys the article. I can link you to it or not. But anyway, Brett Okamoto, ESPN staff writer. A highly anticipated lightweight title fight between interim champion Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov has been canceled just 6 days before it was supposed to headline UFC 223 at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. UFC President Dana White told ESPN on Sunday that Ferguson, who is 23-3, has withdrawn from the bout due to a torn knee ligament. Featherweight champion Max Holloway, who is 19-3, has agreed to take Ferguson's place and fight Nurmagomedov, who is 25-0, for the lightweight title. The 155-pound belt will still headline UFC 223 on April 7th. Here's a comment from Dana White. He's a stud, White said of Holloway, accepting the bout on short notice. The guy hasn't lost a fight since 2013, and that was a decision to Conor McGregor. He's the type of guy that steps up for opportunities like this. And when you think about it, if he wins this fight, other than Conor McGregor, he will be the only guy to hold two belts at the same time. And that's the end of Dana White's quote. As of today, McGregor, 21-3, remains the UFC's official lightweight champion, but he's expected to lose that title as soon as Nurmagomedov and Holloway square off. McGregor became the two-weight champion in late 2016, but has not fought in the UFC since. Of course, that was, I told you earlier, that was 500 and some days ago. This is Dana White more. I don't think Conor McGregor can make the weight on 6 days' notice. That's a tough weight cut for him, White said, and Conor is not the guy I want to be thrown in a late replacement fighter. He's a guy I want to make a fight with and have the right amount of time to promote the fight. I think Conor could return in September. It could be against one of these guys. Good point, Dana White. When you got Conor McGregor, you don't want to throw him in on short notice, because you're not going to get the time to round up the casual fans to be ready for a pay-per-view like this. Conor McGregor's a guy who you want to put on commercials. You want to get him out there for the public to see, and 7 days or 6 days short notice just is not enough time. I didn't even think about the possibility of Conor McGregor coming in to fight Nurmagomedov. I guess he's just been away for so long that I kind of forgot about him being a possibility for a short notice. But as Dana White says, and as I tried to explain there, McGregor's not a guy who you want coming in on super short notice. I got a weird email. Anyway, goes on. Per Dana White, Ferguson is expected to lose his interim title, which he won by defeating Kevin Lee at UFC 216 in October. That goes away, White said. This fight is for the title. The winner of this fight will be the champion. So, I hadn't mentioned it yet, but it seems as though Tony Ferguson is now stripped of his interim title, and Holloway versus Nurmagomedov will be for the only title at the lightweight division in the UFC. So that kind of sucks for Ferguson. He gets injured. He gets pulled away from this money-making opportunity. He loses the possibility of fighting Conor McGregor next. So a golden ticket just slipped through his hands. This really sucks for Tony Ferguson. Let me get back to your questions, my friends, or comments. Benny Garza says, no! We're all feeling that way, my dude. Absolutely dreadful. Of course, Khabib... of course, once Khabib injures Holloway's bony ass, Ortega will wait even longer to get his comeuppance. That's from Absolutely Dreadful. That's what he said. Mac will... This is an insane stylistic matchup. Max was bound to go to 155 pounds with him looking for his revenge and big money fight against Conor. I'm scared that once Khabib gets his hands on Max, it's a wrap, though. That was Mac Will. Irish Brother. McGregor will take this fight. Irish Brother says, Khabib is slow on the feet and flat-footed and needs a clinch. Absolutely Dreadful comes back. Of course McGregor would take this fight if he could. It would be easy win rather than Khabib and Holloway. Mac Will wouldn't put it past Max sleeping him. He's long, can keep the distance in this fight. This fight is going to be ridiculous. Max isn't a single shot finisher, but with his volume coming later in fights, and if Nurmagomedov can't get him down early, you know Khabib's going to be searching for those takedowns early, often, and relentlessly. If he can't get Max down and control him, he could tire himself out. And that volume striking and turning up the volume as fights go on, like Max Holloway does, that could really be something for this matchup. And Max could put it on Khabib late. I'm telling you right now, though, I'm picking Nurmagomedov. I think he's one of the best fighters in the world right now. Ian Coe, is this truly not April Fool's? It does not look as though it is. Prototype Jack, does this make Max stronger and faster because he's fighting at his natural weight rather than killing himself to get to 145 pounds? Prototype Jack, I've been putting out the idea that Max has phenomenal cardio at 145 pounds, but he's going to be carrying more weight on short notice for this bout. You got to take into consideration he's coming on a short notice, and he's also going to be carrying 10 more pounds. So his cardio, his that volume that we've been mentioning, what he's known for, shifting gears, moving a lot, throwing a lot of punches and bunches, and not like kill strikes, like not pitter patter, but precise, accurate. That's redundant, but you get what I'm saying. Those type of strikes, carrying this extra weight, could make his ability to throw those combinations dwindle quicker in this bout, and I'm interested in seeing how he's going to perform on this short notice. This is a fun little storyline here. Neil Shaw, this has to be April Fool's. I know Dana posted, but Max is out of shape and going through a rehab for his injury. Stan Jasinski says he should have stayed off the internet today. I agree. True, last I heard, Holloway still couldn't finalize a date versus Ortega because of his injury. Dana said Ferguson is going to be stripped of his belt. Yep, we read that, Prototype. I just read an article. I'll share the article that I read from Brett Okamoto on ESPN. Let me just share that. Yeah, there you go, guys. Would Max step in if he's still going through rehab for his injury and not in shape? Well, I think... unless this is just some crazy elaborate April Fool's joke, it seems as though that he is doing that. And would he step in if he's still slightly rehabbing an injury? If you could, let's say you were scheduled to fight twice a year, 3 times a year, and you had to go through long training camps in order to make the money that you make. And now you have an opportunity to make an extra, like, $200,000 to fight 6 days from now. They're like, hey, we know you're not in shape. It's cool, bro. Just show up and do your best. You're like, and you're going to give me $200,000? I could win a second belt if I win the fight. Why would you not take that? Even if you're slightly injured, fuckload of money, possibility of becoming a simultaneous champion, getting your name cemented in stone, in history. I think that any prize fighter in the world would take this opportunity, even if they were slightly mending an injury. Oh, Prototype Jack just hit me in the feels. He says, now, imagine if Khabib misses weight for UFC 223. That would just fuck everything up. And then we have no lightweight title again. It's just up for grabs. And then he misses weight, but he still fights, beats Holloway, no belt. It's just no belt is owned. Or perhaps he comes in, misses weight, and then nothing. You know, we don't get the fight at all. Then the main event is the immediate rematch between Ioane and Jacek and Thug Rose Namajunas. If you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up. If you appreciate the chat, if you appreciate me bringing you this breaking news, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I would appreciate that. See, my goal is right there. Thanks, guys. Synchronic 7 doubts he's out of shape. Max Holloway seems like a guy that's, you know, training year-round. He should be fine, really. I just question short notice. You're not peaking. His body's not peaking at the right time. He's carrying that extra weight. I'm saying that again. Neil Shah, Khabib is probably the worst person to step in and fight against on short notice if you're recovering from injury. Something weird about this. It could be weird. This whole thing is weird. Mixed martial arts is weird. Yeah, smash that thumbs up, dudes. And subscribe to the channel. You know, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to the channel. Let me check the Twitter news again. Brett Okamoto just shared a blurb from his article about Tony Ferguson is being stripped of his interim title. That's one of the craziest things about this scenario. Tony Ferguson is being stripped of his interim title. Man. Conor McGregor doesn't fight for over 500 days. I believe it's like something like 510 days. As of now, Conor McGregor's still the lightweight champion of the world. Still has that belt. Tony Ferguson won the interim belt 6 months ago. Gets injured once. Taking it away from you, fucko. That is ours. Give the belt back, bitch. It's weird, huh? Huh. And my Twitter's just filled with people still hoping that this isn't... Thanks, Ralph. A lot of us are still hoping this is a bit of April Fool's foolery, but it doesn't feel like it is. I don't know, guys. I don't know what else to say. You know, we've gone over the news, gone over some reactions. Yeah, I think we've covered it. I'm a little bit stunned. Oh, we got Stan's back. Stan says, I'm waiting to see Dana make a post LOLing at us and calling us all in the media dumb assholes. Absolutely dreadful. Who do you think would win between Joanna and Rose? My bet is Joanna, as long as she can keep her distance from Rose. Whatever happened to Eddie Alvarez? He just put the smackdown on Justin Gaethje, and Gaethje says if he gets past Dustin Poirier this month, then he wants a rematch with Eddie Alvarez. Born Again Libertarian, what is Holloway's best route to victory? I think it's the same thing with every single person who fights Nurmagomedov. Don't let him get on your hips. Pump that jab. Move laterally. Don't let him get you against the cage. Solid double underhooks. Let Khabib get tired chasing you. Pour the volume on later. Focus your early energy on not getting put on your butt. Focus your later energy on laying down the volume. That's what I think. Our max is full power, says Rafael Hagos. I don't know. man. Is Max at full power? I don't know that yet. A lot of questions. Let me check. Oh, I got a friend request. I don't know this dude. Okay. Notifications. I don't see anything else we need to really talk about, my friends. Obviously, absolutely dreadful. Obviously, English is not Rafael Hagos's first language, so I give him a break. He's asking if he's at full power, if he's at full strength, if he's injured. That's his question, and I'm not sure. Prototype Jack, is it bad Max got held down by Conor McGregor and taken down 4 to 5 times by him and Bermudez? I know Holloway has improved to be one of the best in the world, but still Khabib is an animal on the ground. Stan Jasinski, Max called it at the presser a month ago or so about him filling in if someone drops out. Neil Shaw, no chance Max wins this. He won't be in the same condition Khabib is. Will be a typical Khabib domination. Honestly, guys, I know that I'm supposed to be a little bit unbiased or whatever. I love Khabib Nurmagomedov. I like his fights. I like his, Khabib smash, his Khabib time thing. And I hope that he wins. I hope that he doesn't injure Max Holloway anymore. And then I want to see Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega. And I want to see Khabib fight Conor McGregor if he gets through this. Or I would like to see Khabib fight Tony Ferguson. But it's obviously cursed. And it's probably never going to happen. This is the 4th time they've made this fight. And, obviously it's pulled again because somebody got injured. Tony Ferguson this time, a leg injury. And if they make it a 5th time, will you be like, fuck it? Somebody like Jack Slack has tweeted that he will not get excited for Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov until they are in that octagon and the door is locked and the referee says, let's get it on. And, I got excited. And I should have done what Jack Slack said and waited. Talon Laurie says, thought Conor was staying ready. What happened to that? Well, they haven't tweeted this yet, but I'm pretty sure this is one of the factors for why Conor McGregor wouldn't step in. Dana White already said, and we talked about this, that when Conor McGregor fights, you want a week, you want a long time to be able to get this guy in the media, promote Conor McGregor's fights. That's one reason why we wouldn't have him step in on short notice. The second thing is, when Conor McGregor said that he would step in on short notice, for which fight was it? I forget which one it was. And it was against Frankie Edgar. Conor said he would step in and fight Frankie Edgar. He said that he wants a fuckload of money to step in on short notice. Like, Conor gets his regular salary, whatever that is, millions of dollars probably. And that's for at least a 2-month camp, right? For him to step in on 6 days' notice, I bet his price doubles or triples. So not only do you have to pay Conor McGregor more on short notice, but your pay-per-view is probably going to make less money because it's Conor McGregor on short notice and you don't have time to circle the wagons and bring the casual fans into that pay-per-view event. So Conor McGregor's not a short notice kind of guy. Summary, you got to pay him more, you're going to make less. It's just not viable. Thank you for the question, Talon Laurie. Prototype Jack, what if in the 4th and 5th round Holloway throws a body kick and hurts Khabib? I mean, anything is possible. One of the best things, if not the best thing about mixed martial arts is the unpredictability. What they used to say, don't blink. As real as it gets, don't blink. It's true. Many times, if you look away for a moment, like in, let's say, a Yoel Romero fight or a Brian Ortega fight, you think, I know how this fight's playing out. It's been the same thing for 13 minutes. I'm gonna look down and grab a coffee, or I'm gonna pick a scab on my arm. You look away, and bam, fight is over, flying knee. it's just unpredictable, and the fight could end at any moment. So can Max Holloway defeat Nurmagomedov? 100% he can. Will he? I doubt it. But can he? Yes. That's why we're watching. If there wasn't a chance, we wouldn't watch. I mean, hell, even when Cyborg Justino, Chris Cyborg, fought Yana Kunitskaya not long ago, that was a squash match. And we all knew it going in, but we all kind of hoped for what I was just describing, in that we hope some wild and crazy shit happens. Like UMBC beating Virginia in the first round of the NCAA March Madness tournament. You watch it because you want to be surprised, you know, in that scenario. So, of course, Nurmagomedov is going to be like a minus 300 favorite. That doesn't mean Max Holloway can't win at a moment's notice. Right, guys? Ferguson has been the most active lightweight in the UFC, and if they strip him, it's an embarrassment toward not only the division but the UFC. Dana White already said he's gone. Prototype Jack, what's more likely, Anderson Silva fighting in the UFC again or Khabib fighting Ferguson? Anderson Silva fighting in the UFC, it seems. Ha! Jeez Louise. Adam Myers, is this the third or the fourth time the fight has been canceled? It's the fourth time, my dude. 4 times this fight has been attempted to be put on, and of course they made it to the octagon on 0 occasions. Yeah, 4 times. That's worse than a strikeout, you know. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 4 times? Shame on everybody. Shame on us all. Today's news is so MMA, says Stan Jasinski. Yes, this is like the most MMA thing that's ever happened. The injury bug, killing a fight that we've all looked forward to for years, for literally years, getting canceled on 6-day short notice. It's insane, but it is really, really MMA. Okay, from MMA Fighting Newswire, Khabib Nurmagomedov has issued a statement on Tony Ferguson's withdrawal. Don't talk too much anymore. In the wake of rival Tony Ferguson being injured and his 4th scheduled meeting with Khabib Nurmagomedov being canceled, Nurmagomedov is keeping things classy, but that doesn't mean he's letting Ferguson completely off the hook. I'm reading an article from MMAfighting.com. Shortly after the news broke, Ferguson will be forced to withdraw from the lightweight championship main event of UFC 223 on April 7th in Brooklyn. The Eagle took to Instagram to wish Ferguson a speedy recovery and offer some stern advice. And this is being read from an Instagram post from Nurmagomedov, where in the photo he's wearing headgear and boxing gloves, on his shirt it says "Train like a fighter, Reebok Combat." Okay, the caption is, "Tony, heal up, man. Just want to advise you, don't talk too much anymore. A lot of thoughts in my head right now, but I don't want to become like you. Hope this lesson will teach you. Watch your mouth." Right. This is coming just days after, I believe it was on Thursday, where a conference call between these two guys got really fucking weird. And Tony Ferguson said a lot of hurtful, weird, like very shit-talking things. And then, of course, here we are. He has been pulled from this main event spot. Rafael Hago says Conor vs. Tony for the interim title, and Conor kill Tony, and Conor vs. Khabib Max's money. Don't think that's happening. Anyway, Prototype Jack, at this point, should you even make the fight? There's almost a guarantee the fight gets canceled every time. That's what I'm saying, Prototype Jack. I wouldn't. Why make it? It doesn't seem like it's going to happen. It's one of the... I love the stylistic matchup. Just the thought of Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov, but why make it again? We've been burnt 4 times. How many other matchups, I don't think there probably is one, have been tried to be made, attempted to be made 4 times, and all 4 times, nothing. I don't think there's any other matchup between 2 guys. Oh, watch out, the fake Ariel Helwani on Twitter saying the fight is back on. I don't like that gimmick. Just not a fan of that gimmick. Anyway. Okay, Ariel, the real Ariel Helwani says that Khabib will still be in the studio tomorrow, in a Helwani studio, for the MMA Hour, and the fight it's truly off. It's truly Max Holloway versus Khabib in the main event of UFC 223, happening in 6 days. The co-main event is Thug Rose Namajunas versus Ioana and Jacek. Somebody asked me a while back who I'm picking to win the rematch. I know in my breakdown video for the first fight, I said I was going to pick Ioana. But in that, I did say that Ioana is susceptible to the check hook counters because she's always on her jab, and she's on it a lot, and she brings it back slow, and she's liable to get countered, right? With the overhand. Her jab gets countered with the overhand, and she also eats a lot of check left hooks, or lead left hooks as well. And it was an overhand right off of a jab counter that Ioana got dropped from Rose, or the first time she dropped her, and then the shot that finished Ioana was a left hook, and then she was going to come in with a kick, but she dropped her with the left hook, and that was pretty much all she wrote. Ioana's been chinny for a while. I know she's got her weight cutting. She's on weight really, really early. But just basically, I think that Thug Rose has Ioana's number. Ioana has been chinny. She got dropped by Karolina Kowalkiewicz. She got dropped by Claudia Gadelha. And Thug Rose, she dropped her. She has some sweet head kicks. She dropped Karate Hottie. But beyond like her strikes, which we've seen in her last 2 fights, Ioana and Karate Hottie respectively, Rose is known as a grappler, a jiu-jitsu artist. So she's got it all in her pocket. I think that she has Ioana's number. I'm going to pick Ioana to lose again to Thug Rose in basically the same fashion. Got a lot of comments. Taylin Laurie, do you think the UFC likes this matchup more because now they can make Khabib title holder, let Max keep his featherweight belt, and do Conor versus Khabib in Russia in September? Do I think that they like this matchup more? Well, I think they want, out of these 3 fighters, I'm talking Tony, Max, and Khabib, the person they would like Conor to fight the least was probably Tony Ferguson. So he's kind of out of the picture. Do they like this better? I don't know. But I think that Tony was probably the least favorite out of those opponents to fight Conor McGregor. They like Nurmagomedov because of his big following in Russia. That could be big. They like Holloway for the rematch. You know, they could sell the title. You know, 2 simultaneous title holders fighting each other in a main event. That's, you know, that's some marketing dream. That's a promotional dream right there, probably. But do they like this more? I'm going to say that I doubt it. This isn't going to sell any more pay-per-views than it would have with Ferguson versus Nurmagomedov. Even though we are talking about it quite a bit right now, I don't think they like it anymore. Alvarez versus the winner of Holloway versus Nurmagomedov, or do you give Poirier again if Dustin is able to beat Gaethje? I want to see Poirier versus Alvarez run it back. I don't see any benefit of putting Alvarez in with Khabib, especially because, I mean, Conor McGregor tooled on Eddie Alvarez. So to put him right back in a title picture where Conor McGregor is in the talk at all, to me, is nonsensical. But anyway, Adam Myers, what was the injury? They just say a leg injury. I don't know exactly what it was. Prototype Jack, he saw someone who wasn't expecting to see, and he tripped and hurt his knee. Huh. International Alpha, what the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck? I think the UFC will want Conor versus Khabib in Russia. I can't tell you if they want that or not. Anyway, guys, we've talked about it. We've wrapped up the news. If you haven't already, thumb the video right on up. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be back in a couple of days to talk more about UFC 223. And if this was a joke, I'll be back tomorrow or later this evening, and we can talk more about this fight. But, okay, Rafael Hagos says that Khabib just posted something on Twitter about Conor McGregor. Let's check that out. And once I... Oh, no. 5 hours ago, Khabib says, "Where are you now, Conor McGregor?" So maybe this has been going on for a while, and Khabib knew about it 5 hours ago and was saying that Conor McGregor should step up, but not the case. Anyway, yeah, let's wrap this up, guys. International Alpha says it's very irresponsible for Tony Ferguson to pull out like this. I mean, it's actually responsible if it's a real injury. The dude is missing out on a lot of money. He's missing out on the paycheck on Saturday. He's also missing out on possibly fighting Conor McGregor. That's a fucking golden ticket. So I feel bad for him. Also, he's getting his belt stripped after having it for 6 months, and Conor McGregor has had his belt for like a year and a half and still has it until Saturday. So I feel kind of bad for Tony Ferguson, even though he's a really weird guy. Anyway, thank you, Prototype Jack. I enjoyed the stream as well, my friend, but I'm getting out of here. We're out, guys. Thumb the video up, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter at FlyinBrianJ. Have a great rest of your Easter, and I'll see you guys later. Namaste. Namaste. You guys are great. Got a lot of love for you. Peace out.